Hi, I'm Nathan Ray and I'm producing this series of videos which cover basic filmmaking techniques so you can improve the quality of your online video content. In this first video I'm going to be looking at camera placement and framing advice, and this applies to all sorts of videos that you're going to be making: interviews, documentaries, sports footage, and even if you're just filming yourself. And this all applies right across the board. So, but before I get to that, I want to say, remember, it's not your filmmaking techniques and the quality of the video produced. It's the subject. It's you who are talking on video. It's your passion and enthusiasm and knowledge about the subject which will keep people coming back for more and make people want to watch your videos again and again. So let's get to it. Firstly, you'll need to get yourself a tripod. That means when you set up a frame or you set up the way you want your camera, it will stay that way. If you use your hands too much, or you ask someone else to use their hands, it's going to be much more difficult to apply all these techniques. So first thing we're going to do is look at the thirds rule, which is where your eyes are placed in the video. Now, looking at this camera here, I'm filming myself. Smarten myself up a bit. You can see that I've placed the camera so my eyes are a third of the way from the top and 2/3 of the way from the bottom. Now this applies in whatever situation. If someone is too low in the frame like this, it looks a bit funny, and if somebody is too high in the frame, again it just looks weird. This is the natural framing that you want, 2/3 up with your eyes. Now if the person is quite far away from the camera, again, you want to get them so their eyes are there, and if someone is very, very close up, you don't just want the top of their head like this. Even if you can't see the mouth properly, it's best to have the eyes in about the right position. That's quite extreme though. So another thing you might want to think about with the camera is if you want it above the eye level of the person you're interviewing or the filming, or below. And this is important for a couple of different reasons. If it's too high, say I go down a little bit lower here, it looks like the person who is talking is a child, and they're very lowly and they need your sympathy, or it kind of puts them at a lower position from the view of the video. This is how Princess Diana was filmed in her famous interview, where she looked up at the camera with her eyes. On the other extreme, if you have your camera too low down here and you're speaking to it, you can seem quite overbearing, and it gives authority. Politicians like to be filmed from slightly below. It gives them that viewpoint of that extra authority that the slightly different camera position gives them. But I think we'll just go back to have it at eye level when I'm sitting down, because that's about the neutral position there. Now if I was having a guest here, a two shot would be about where here, so I could be here and there could be somebody else there interviewing me. This is the two shot. Most soap opera shots in Coronation Street are all two shots. There's two people talking to each other. Then we get the head and shoulders shot, which, like you say, is the head and shoulders shot. You get a close-up, which is, I'm going to use my remote control here. Close-up, which is less of the shoulders and more of just the head, but still getting all the head in. Then we get to the real close-up, which is just the person talking like this, and it can be quite intimate. Again, you need to keep your eyes 2/3 of the way. So move the camera each time. I'm moving my body here, but you need to move the camera instead of moving the body. And then you get the very, very extreme close-up, which is even now is sometimes used in some documentaries or interviews. It gives a real close feeling, an intimate feeling, but you need to make sure that you shave before going really close up like that. Okay, so all this applies to when you have you're speaking directly to camera. It's slightly different when you're doing an interview. If you're interviewing someone, say you're interviewing them there and I'm the subject on screen, they're going to be turned slightly and talking to you. Now you need to be careful about where they are in the frame here, because if there's too much space behind them, it looks a bit weird. You don't want them in the center. You want to place your subjects slightly to the side and have the gap in front of them here. Now, this space isn't just empty space, it's actually being filled, and it's being filled by the person's eye lines, what they're looking at there. And so although it might seem a bit unbalanced at first sight, you want the gap to be here, and it's the same however you frame it. If you are zooming in, and if someone's looking off to the side, you want the gap in front, you want the space in front of them here, not behind them. Now I'm going to cover another thing with interviewing. If you're interviewing someone, you might want to move the camera around each time, but imagine there's a line coming out of their nose and to your face or to your eyesight where you are standing interviewing them on the side of the camera. What you want to do is film the shots and keep the camera on one side of the line here. So anything from there all the way around is where you can place the camera, and there's a reason for this. We can place the camera here, and I'll edit these shots together into a little sequence before. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, this will make sense in a minute. Okay, then we can have the camera over here, and I'm talking in the same place. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And we can even have the camera almost behind my head and pointing at you, the interviewer, but it's still this side of my body here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. If you cross over to this side, I will show you what happens. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now we'll edit those clips together in a couple of different ways, and you'll see what is wrong with moving the camera across that line. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now we'll edit those clips together in a couple of different ways. Okay, so we've covered the position, the height of the camera, the 2/3 line, and the space in front of the person you're interviewing and crossing the line. That's about it. There's a few other things you might want to consider about where you place the camera. You don't want your interviewer to be in front of a bright light source, because it turns into this. You can't really see what they're saying. So try and make sure that the windows and light sources are in front of your interview subject, or try and have a big window next to them, so there's a good light source. Also, think about what is behind your subject or behind you as you're speaking. I don't know if you noticed when I had the camera here. Just set that up again. I have this kind of like film strip photo here, and I have my Royal Television Society award there, which you can't really see, and I have DVDs and my film books here behind me. So things behind me are generally relevant to what I'm talking about. If you're a builder, have a building site behind you. If you're an accountant, have an office behind you. But if you're a builder, don't have an office behind you, and if you're an accountant, don't have a building site behind you. Just most importantly, I'll finish off with what I started with. It isn't the skills that you put into the video production, and it isn't the quality of your equipment and of your lights which will make people come back and watch your videos again and listen to what you have to say. It's your knowledge, it's your passion, and it's your enthusiasm for your subject which people will remember. So that's it. Email me or tweet me with any comments or questions. Subscribe to my YouTube video or Twitter, or subscribe to my blog if you want to get all the updates and all the rest of the episodes in this video series. And well, that's it. Thanks for watching. Catch you next episode.